Hi, welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca Hart. Today we're going to be making candles. This is a fun DIY project that takes about an hour to do a batch of candles, and it's fun for a girls' night in or with your significant other or to do with your kids. It is a really easy project. So I'm going to go through all the things you need to make candles, and let's get started. So first off, you're going to need wax. I use soy wax. You could use beeswax as well. And I bought a 10-pound bag that makes about 40 candles. I started with a DIY starter kit, and it came with this 2-pound melting pitcher and a long spoon to stir the wax. And this, I used a cocktail spoon, but any stainless steel spoon will do. This makes about 4 candles a batch, and I also have a larger 8-inch high, 5.5 diameter melting pitcher, and this makes about 8 candles, about 8-ounce candles. And you need a container. This one is glass, frosted glass, which I think is very elegant. It's 8 ounces, and it comes with a lid. So this is great because it will preserve the scent. I also use a shot glass. This is to measure out my fragrance oil. The fragrance oil that I'm going to be using today is rose, and this is for Valentine's Day week. And so it's going to be rose, vanilla, and suede. It's a very sexy candle. I also have a candle wick trimmer, which is great for trimming your candle wicks after they've cured. And just a little bit, you can use scissors too, but it just helps you get in there. I also use the wicks, cotton wicks, so lead-free, zinc-free. These are great. You can buy them in a set, and they come usually with glue dots, so that's how you affix it to your candle container. I also like to use these metal candle wick holders because this allows you to center your wick. And I love the metal ones better than the wooden ones because they are a little bit easier to control. These can be a little bit flimsy, but they work as well. They have a little hole for the wick. Then you need a thermometer. I like this digital thermometer. It's a candy thermometer. And the set that I bought did come with this analog thermometer, but these could be a little bit inaccurate. You can still get it done. And so you really want to keep track of the temperature so you're not scorching the oil. And optional is a dye block. I usually like just the plain white color of the regular wax, and another little optional dried flowers, which can add a nice touch. I just put a few, you don't want to overdo this. I also like to use a funnel, which is great for when you have these wicks. This wick holder there in the center, you have a way to pour the wax and it doesn't get all over the side. And I think that's pretty much everything. So I also use just a regular 2-cup measuring glass to measure out the wax. And I think I use about 6 cups of solid wax for one of these, and that will create 4 candles. Okay, so right now I have some water boiling. This is a double boiler, and this allows you to control the temperature a little bit better. If you just put a pan and melted it right on the fire, it would scorch the wax and could ruin your candles. So doing double boiling is a more effective way to control the temperature, and it doesn't heat up too fast. See, it takes a while for it to start to melt, so give this about another couple minutes and it'll start to liquefy. We are getting close to the temperature you need in order to add the fragrance, about 175 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it is time to add the fragrance. These 3 scents I'm adding: rose, vanilla, and leather or suede scent. We need about 4 ounces, as I mentioned. So we've added the fragrance oil, and now we want it to cool to about 135 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So while the wax is cooling, we're going to affix the wicks to the containers, the dead center, and place the wick holders as well. So now we're going to add the glue dot to the wick. It's very easy. Press it in. Now peel this off. And we're gonna stick it right in the center. And press down so that the hot oil doesn't have it come loose. But having the metal wick holder actually keeps it, even if it does come loose from the bottom, will keep it centered and set while it cools. And once it cools, it's totally fine. So we poured the candle wax and we're gonna wait about 15 to 20 minutes to add the flowers because the oil has to congeal a little bit and become slightly white but not fully opaque. That way you can place the rose petals, and then we're gonna let it cool for 3 to 4 hours before moving them. So now I'm just crumbling some rose petals. Okay, my favorite part is to trim the wick with the wick trimmer. So you want to get about 1/4 inch. Beep. And just make sure there's no excess on that. So my trick to fixing the uneven surface of the candle is to use a heat gun. And this is so satisfying. I think it's more fun than heating the jars before you pour the wax. So this is the finished candle. I smoothed out the top as best as I could, and I added a label.